Good morning. Let me just go over and bump that up. There we go. Good morning, Patty. And, well, shoot, I forgot my link. I'm just posting in the group so they know that we are live. If I can find my link again. Oh, and let me get Tammy in here. Okay, no. Tammy just joined as a patron and it's not come across yet. I just got the notification. It's processing. So we'll get her in here as soon as we can. You're working on cup number 2? Yay, Patty. It's addictive. I'm telling you, it's addictive. Let me play this intro and we'll be right back. Good morning, good morning. Well, that's the good thing about the cups too, Patty, is even though it's a lot involved, you can, once you get it glittered and get that first coat on it, you can go do something else and just check on it in about 30 minutes. And after that, you're done till it sets. Gives you time to do other things. That looks kind of blurry, doesn't it? Let's see if I can get it cleared up. There it goes. Just. Can you guys see that okay? Does it look okay? Let me move my junk out of the way here. Oh, thanks, Patty. It's been a week, I tell you. I am loving these little boxes, guys. You can not only make this for the card, but This would be cute to put candies or any kind of little gift in. Love it, love it. So that's what we're going to create today. And the file is on the exclusive tab on Patreon. And as you guys know, or you should know, I sent out an email. We updated everybody's tiers. So no matter what tier you're on, if you're on the $2 or up, you get all of the Design Space files, the Exclusives tab and the Design tab. And the difference is, which has always been, the Exclusives tab, I have not released, I'm going to say 99% of the things on that Exclusives tab have not been publicly shared, not by me. There might be one or two in there that are just kind of special that I put in there, but everything on that Exclusives tab I kind of kept for patrons only. So that's the difference. So when I tell you it's on the Exclusives tab, that means that it's for you guys. Hey Claire, Karen, I think it's Claire there. But that's the difference. But now you guys have access to all of them, be it the Design tab or the Exclusives. And this is on the Exclusives tab. I made this yesterday. It was Pinterest inspired. So I tweaked it and changed some things to it and made it, in my opinion, a little bit better. And wanted you guys to have a file. Feel free to change out the flowers or anything. Let me go over to Design Space. And the flower, you can just change these out to whatever you want it to be and decorate this. These are all, these pieces here are all extras, and you can get rid of those and put whatever you want. And of course you can detach that and change your sentiment to whatever it is you want. So none of this is permanent. And you can even contour out that heart for the ribbons and change it to a circle, whatever you want it to be. So just make sure you get them in the right spot on both of them. Good morning, Miss Sheila. So basically all of that is extra, and this is your file. And again, this number's no good. This is private, but you guys, your button works to the file that's live for you guys. That way I can make changes in mine and not mess you guys up. That's why I do it this way. So let's go on over to Design Space. Hi Sheila too. I have two Sheilas today. And let's go ahead and make this. Guys, you're going to be surprised how really easy it is to make. It's super, super easy. So here is mine. And when you untie it, then it opens up and reveals the card or the gift, whatever you've placed inside yours. And it does have plenty of clearance. So I ran out of time, guys. I really wanted to do a crepe paper rose, and with everything that's gone on this week, I didn't get to it. So, but I did make it, giving you guys enough height where you could put rosebuds however you wanted to decorate your card, and it would fit in this envelope. Or if you wanted to do a low profile back here and maybe put a small booklet or whatever in here, for gift giving, it will take several things, or some chocolate candies. You have plenty of room in this box to do several different things. Box, envelope, whatever you want to call it. It's an all-in-one. That's what I'm calling it. It's a gift box, an envelope, a card, everything. So you're going to need ribbon. Now I did use some Nuvo drops. These are new, guys, if you haven't gotten these yet. Scrapbook.com and Amazon both have them. Links are below for that. These are the Dream Drops, and they're iridescent. You get, I think it's 5 or 6 colors. And those are kind of new to Nuvo Drops, but they have an iridescent shimmer to them. I don't know if it's showing on camera, but they're gorgeous. So we're going to be using that. And I don't know why I have these square foam dots. I might use one, but I doubt it. I got some foam dots. And then I've got all my pieces cut. And then you're going to need, depends on the flower that you're doing, you may need your flower tools and your flower mat. So, and these green pieces, guys, are just from a previous project that I did. You don't have to have these. It's going to depend on your flower, whatever you use. But those are not in the file. If you cut this file, those are just some extra pieces I had, and I don't even know if I'm going to use them this time. And you're going to need ribbon, and I've cut it in just about 12, 14-inch lengths, 2 of them. And then any extra that you want. And this was the 3/8 inch is what I'm using. But use whatever you want. So let's just go ahead and start with the card base and get that out of the way. Of course, you're going to fold that in half. And then I have just a square panel of my pattern paper, so you can do yours either way that you want. And this is the Madeline from Bo Bunny, in case anybody can find it. I think it's discontinued with these roses, but you can still find it places. I got a big pack of it on Amazon. And then this is the Cricut brushed, true brushed in the copper color. I'm just going to place that on top. Set that to the side. And then I have another panel here. All my panels got jumbled up. There it is. We're going to place that one on that. And I put my paper upside down so I could do my writing on the correct side of it. And then I just flip the rest. Super, super easy. And then in that file, I do have the orchid. I just love the orchids for Mother's Day. And all you do to shape these, I'm not going to do all of these and put them on because you can see the finished product here on this card. But in order to get that cupping, you're just going to need to, size matters on these guys because they come in all different sizes. If you don't have a set, you can get the McGill's at Amazon, but they come in all different sizes. And size matters when you're doing this because you can break your paper down the wrong way when you're doing this. If you use one too small, it can tear your paper. So make sure that you use one that's equivalent to what you're doing, because that's what you're doing, is you're breaking that paper down to give it a cup. And you're just going to do that on your flower mat until you get the cup that you want. Now you would want to go smaller. With the smaller one, you would use a smaller to break that one down. Just like so. And that's all you do to cup your flowers. And you can, this technique works with all your flowers, from your roses, any of them, your hibiscus flowers, any of them that you want to put shape to. These tools and this technique will work, but just make sure you don't want to use like that teeny tiny end to do this, because you can see that I'm only working that teeny tiny area, and it will eventually put a hole in it rather than cupping it. So make sure that you use something that's equivalent to its size to break it down and curl it. So that's just a little tip for you guys. But you guys know, once you've got it done, you're going to, I put a foam dot on the back and pop that up. And then for my center, I got to cut some more of the brushed out of this because I had a boo-boo. And then you're going to pop dot that one up as well, just like I did here. So pop dot, and you're done. And I did pop dot it up on the top of the card to give it some height. And then you're going to place those on the card where you want them. I did not put a sentiment on the inside of the card, guys. On the file, all you have to do is move the panels over to the left side and put your sentiment on the right side so that when it writes it, it puts it on the right side of the card. For those of you who do not know, let me show you that so you know exactly what I mean. I think my camera is going in and out of focus, isn't it? Right here, you're just going to slide these panels over. This is where your sentiment goes on this side. That way when it writes and you fold it in half, this will go on the front. That's all you need to do for that. Yes, the ball stylus. The ones that I have, there is a flower kit at Amazon. You can type in McGill flower set and these will come up. However, they don't have one this big. This is in your candy and cake making, your fondant. This is from a fondant set. So if you're going to be doing big flowers, they're just, I mean, I think I got it for $4 or $5, something like that. But they'll come up. It's a fondant tool. And that's what they use when they're doing fondant. I don't know if you've ever seen the wedding cakes that have like the ruffled fondant on it. This is what they use. That's how they make it. My mom used to make cakes. I had a little insight on that. And then these are box decor pieces. We're just going to layer up this piece and give it time to dry so we can be handling it. And I'm just layering the cream colored Cricut cardstock on top of the true brushed copper for that. And I'm going to set my butterfly to the side. And now this is very important, and you guys don't ask me how I know this. Yes, I did rip this apart and have to put it back together. That's why I have a kind of a funky corner. You're going to go ahead and fold these two big long pieces in half. And one has two tabs, one on each end. You're going to fold those over. Everything is folded away from you, or mountain fold, whatever you want to call them. And this is the cream colored Cricut cardstock. This one I made from the Park Lane paper from Joann's. It's the 110 pound. And this thing is sturdy, guys. You could put a heavy gift in that. This one is pretty sturdy too, once you get it together. I thought it was going to be too flimsy, but it wasn't. I'm just going to fold everything away. And it's very important that you're going to make your corners. You want your hearts facing you when you do this. Make sure that those holes right there are facing you. If you don't, you're going to find yourself ripping it apart or recutting. And then you have one that just, like I said, has one tail. Doesn't matter if it goes to the right or the left, totally up to you. However, your paper, if you're using pattern paper, something like that, that's totally up to you, as long as those hearts face you. That was another reason that I went ahead and put them in there instead of just leaving it without a hole there so that you could decide. I wanted something there to help you with direction. So now we have those two shapes. I'm using the new Cricut holographic foil acetate. you have 2 sets of these triangles. And of course, one is out of my pattern paper and one is not. The pattern paper is smaller. I just dropped. There we go. You want these 2. And I found it easier, but you can do this either way that you want. Whatever's easier for you. You can leave it folded up this way and apply it, or you can lay it down this way. Am I on camera? Here, make sure. And I'm just going to glue this tab. I suggest gluing because it's going to get a lot of work, and we know sometimes tapes can pop apart depending on your humidity, but they will work if you use the score tapes. And you got to line this up right on that score line and keep this straight and press it down. And I know that I could have cut these this way, but it did take more paper, and then you would have 2 sides that were different because they are not glued on, and they would be smooth and the others would be glued. I didn't want to see those seams. So to keep it cohesive, I did them in separate pieces so it would take less paper. Then you're going to glue the other side and keep that one straight as well. And bring that piece in and press it down. And the same thing with the other side, except instead of going on this side, we're going to go on this side. Okay? So this side is on the right hand tabs, this side is on the left hand tabs. Don't ask me how I know that. Because yeah, I did that. And then we're just going to, in the same manner, line that up right on that score line. And then you have those 2 pieces. Everybody with me so far? Yes, I love the new foil acetate. Good morning, Sue. Yeah, it's so pretty. I went subtle on this because I had the flowers, so I just went with the ones that had the little diamonds on it because the paper was a little busy, so I really loved the one with the circles though. But it was a little too busy for this paper. So now we have those. Now you want these pieces of your pattern paper, and you want your acetate pieces. And don't forget, you have your film on there. There we go. I see you. Peel your plastic pieces off. And I am just going to put a little bit of art glitter glue around the edge of this. Doesn't need much. I don't want to get it in the window, but I'm just putting a little bit there. And let me double check. I'm going to glue it to the pretty side of my paper, the side that I want to peep through the window. And I'm going to line that up on there. And I'm going to give it a second to dry while I do the other one. I don't know which side the film is on. I have to say the film seems to remove easier off of the new stuff than it did the old, I think. Or it was. Maybe it was just me and wishful thinking. To me, it doesn't stick as hard as it did to the other. And then the same thing. I'm going to do this exact same thing on this one. Just down the edge. And I have tried my tape runners on this, and they always pop off. I don't know if it's the humidity here, but art glitter glue works for me. And I'm going to let that one dry, and then we're going to place this one. So now on this pattern side, I'm going to go around the rim, outside the acetate, just a little dot here and there on the top of the acetate, because just very little of this is going to show through. And this is the tricky part. You want to watch what you're doing here so that you can get this in there even. So I'm flipping mine over and then bringing this in so that I can see and line that up and get that as even as possible all the way around. Because if that's off, it's going to show, guys. So make sure you get it in there and it's even on all three sides. Because we don't have just two sides to worry about here. We have three. And so it's just going to be a little peep, but you want it even. And then again, I'm going to do this one. To me, I don't know why triangles are hard for me. But they are. I might be off a little bit, but I think it looks pretty good there. You like the red line for acetate? I do too, Jamie, but that works for me. But like regular score tapes and these, they won't hold. They just, not here in Georgia. They hold, they look like they hold, and then I've got like some sitting in a closet, and I even have a humidity thing in there to keep humidity down, and I go in there and the acetate has fallen to the bottom of the box. And I'm like, are you serious? That's how I test my, my tapes. So like cupcake boxes and stuff, I'll stick a piece of acetate in there and see how it holds. I don't put my liner piece to hold it, and just to see. 6 months later it's fallen out, but I guess it'll hold for a while. Okay, next step, we are going to take this tab with the hearts facing you. Again, I can't stress that enough. Those two hearts need to be up. You're going to glue this tab to the inside, making sure that you get it square on this back. You don't want any overhang. Once you get it where you want it, flip it over and just hold it till it dries. You don't want it to go anywhere. We're almost done with this box. Then you have your decorative piece. One is folded in half and the other one is cut in half. You don't want, these are last. Put them to the side. You don't want to put them in right now. You want to do those very last thing. And then we're just going to glue this strip in after we have mountain folded it with the side we want to the inside. I put the glue on there. And this has words on it, so I want to make sure they're going the right way. There we go. You're just going to lay that in there with your fold right in that valley. Give it a rub down. And it's good. Then you have your two decorative pieces. You can set those to the side as well. You want your plain pieces. And just like we did the other piece, except this time we can't lay it flat, so we're going to do it this way. Make sure you get up under that little tab there. Make sure my texture's going the right way. I find it easier to line up the corner and then do this side. And then give it a rub on the inside. Same thing on this side. I almost put that upside down. Make sure you keep that edge really good and even, guys. It's going to make a nicer box. The more even you get it. Make sure you rub your tabs down, and I missed a spot of glue there. Okay, next you want to put in these panels in the direction that you want your pattern paper to be, and you can do it either way you want. They'll fit. And I brought mine up to this edge, right up to the edge, because that's what's going to be seen. You might have a very, very small light gap in there, and that's okay. It's better than hanging off and trying to trim it up to fit. Make sure that you've got it in straight. I didn't have that on the last one, so I must have put this on crooked, but if you have any little area, you can trim that off. It was just from the tab, not the box itself, which was probably me. And then again, place this one in. And give that a rub down, all the way down into the corners, guys. You don't want it lifting up on you. Almost done. Now I'm just going to fold these two tabs back so that I've got a little play with them. And I'm going to take my tape runner, and just above the heart, I'm just going to put a good long line covering the heart area. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. To get some sticky on there. And now you need your ribbon. And all you're going to do is fish your ribbon right through. You don't need that much. Just maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and press it down in the glue. And do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, I love this little project. It came together really, really, really easy. Same thing on this side. So now you have something that looks like this. See if I can get that to focus for you guys. That's the way it's going to look. Then you're going to fold your tab down, and if you want, I like, because I just put the glue, I like to put just a little art glitter glue on each corner so that my tab doesn't try to lift up, and fold that over. This is going to help hold your ribbon in place with the ties so it doesn't pull out. Give it a good rub. And if you're using like a satin ribbon or something like that, like this has a shinier side than the other, make sure that you're inserting it into your box panel the way that you want that ribbon to show. Or if it's a patterned ribbon, if it's patterned on one side, make sure that it's going in the right direction before you fold those tabs. Almost forgot to tell you guys that. Then you're ready for these decorative panels. And they, again, have wording on there. They just slip right in, guys, all the way to the back. And I left a raw edge here because it was folded over and finished. I put it to the back completely. But you can do yours the way you want. If you want to pull it up a little bit, that's fine too. It moved. I may get back in there. There we go. And now it's ready to be tied. And you want to tie it up before you put your decorative panels on the top, so you know that you're putting them where they need to be. And you're just going to tie your bow. Make it pretty. And when you trim your bow, don't trim too much of the tails off so that you leave them plenty of room to retie it. And I did use a square foam tab. I did use a square on this one for this to give it more space. So decide where you want that to be. And then you can just kind of push down and lift this up. And press it down good. See if this one's going to peel for me. There we go. And then I'm just going to reach under and give it a press down so that it stays. And then I did not pop dot my butterfly, but you guys put yours on any way you want. Kind of. I didn't put him on the tag. I liked him there. I probably should have cut 2 butterflies, but I think I'm just going to go in the same direction. And I just put art glitter on the body of it, kind of bent the wings up, and placed it right on the corner. And that's it, guys. That's all there is to it. And then, of course, you've decorated your card, and that goes on the inside. Did everybody understand everything? Any questions about it? And then, of course, you can decorate with your Nuvo drops any way that you want. I'm going to do this one a little bit different. Just put 3 there. And that's all there is to that, guys. Does anybody have any project issues? Anything that you haven't been able to resolve? Any design space issues you need help with? Anything like that? Escal? Any Escal questions? I can't help you with Inkscape, but maybe with Escal I can. That's right, Patty. You know where to find me. And you can always message me if I don't respond right away. I'll get to you as quickly as I can. Or tag me in your post. Or message me on Patreon. That will email me as well. All right, guys. I know that most of you are getting ready to go watch Melody. So you guys enjoy her tutorial. If you have any questions or anything about this project, don't hesitate to ask. And I will see you guys on Monday. And then don't forget, not next Saturday, the fourth Saturday of the month, we have Pinteresting projects. So we'll be at noon. I believe we do that one at noon. So, and I will notify you guys. I'll send you your email out for that. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Thank you, moderators. I appreciate you too.